Let me guess, you're constantly battling the unique demands of shift work, aren't you? Feeling relentless fatigue, brain fog, or the health challenges that come with those irregular hours. Well, it's time to stop just surviving your shifts and really start thriving. At A Healthy Shift, we're revolutionising workplace wellbeing for 24/7 teams. As a veteran shift worker for over 40 years, I know exactly what you're up against, and that's why we've built something truly groundbreaking, the seminar experience. Now, this isn't just a keynote, it's a completely new evidence-based program which is designed to empower entire shift-working workforces. I want you to imagine your team armed with the strategies to optimise their sleep, boost their energy, and elevate their health, no matter what schedule they're on. Our core keynote is powerful, but we also offer specialised add-on workshops, which cover deep dives into women in shift work, how to work your own roster optimally, as well as fatigue management for managers. We need your help to bring this transformation to your workplace. Managers want to invest in their teams, but they need to know that we exist. Are you ready to bring real, lasting change to your colleagues and your organisation? Go and visit ahealthyshift.com. That's ahealthyshift.com and follow the seminar experience link up the top, where you can download our detailed e-brochure, or you can simply follow the link in the show notes. Let's help your workforce thrive, not just survive.
Come and join us. It is a little night shift. Roger Sutherland is from, night shift / A Healthy Shift. Have a look at the website, ahealthyshift.com. You can also have a look at the Instagram. He's everywhere. A healthy, _healthy, is that right?
Correct.
_healthy_shift.
Yes.
Is that the only one you could get?
I think I'm going to have to change it.
Yes, it's busy. It's busy
busy.
to read. Thank you. Healthy Shift podcast on all platforms.
It is, absolutely.
How many listeners?
We're getting about 1,000 listens a week.
Oh, not even close to
Not
the
as
audience
close as
that
you.
have. No, I know.
That's why I like coming here.
That's right, because you, for the first time, have an audience.
I have an audience.
133 693 is our telephone number. We'll talk all things to do with lighting. We're going to talk about sleep duration,
Fatigue, ring
and timing.
doorbells.
And the mere fact that you are now exclusively dressed and you look amazing by Henry Bucks.
No, well, I'd like to think so. Are we, yes, Henry Bucks, yes.
Well, you said you bought a beautiful new coat.
No, I was going to buy one from Oxford. It's a $500 coat and it was reduced to $191.
And you said, well, there's a bargain.
I asked Melissa, she said, spoil yourself, and I didn't.
So you had to
Because she said yes. If she had said no, I probably would have done it.
So you need permission.
No, I did not. No, I don't need permission at all. I just needed some coaxing.
Some endorsement.
So I needed some endorsement.
Yeah.
I wanted her to say, oh, that would look fantastic on you.
Know that feeling. I know that feeling. Come and join us wherever you are, right around Australia. Anything you want to raise on the program, we can have a chat about anything when the great man is here. That is Roger Sutherland. Certainly issues around law and order. It is important to everybody, so we can look at that. But certainly it's about those that work shift work. Now, you might be a shift worker as we speak. You might be a driver. You could be an AMBO. You might be an officer serving in South Australia, serving in WA, serving in Victoria, anywhere around Australia for that matter. You might be someone who's heading into supermarkets and getting the stores cranked up and ready to go for the next day. There would be people shift working right
out
across
at the
screen.
airport listening. Everyone,
Airport.
industry, private industry working overnight. We forget about taxi drivers, Uber drivers, people working at the airport, emergency services, frontline health. I mean, frontline health might be listening to the radio, but I want to challenge anybody else. We won't identify who you are, but if you want to call up and just say, and give us a yell, because I put it on my Instagram story today, who's on night shift. I had about 40 people say that they're on night shift. So what about people give us a yell? Send us a text or give us a call.
133693. Come and join us. I don't know whether Wade... Now, is your name Wade Kingsley or are you Wade from Kingsley?
Hi, Tony. No, it is Wade Kingsley, and we used to work together a very long time ago.
Wade Kingsley. When I saw that name come up, I thought, is it Wade who lives at Kingsley or Wade from Kingsley? Wade, you are a radio guru, and you never rang me, you never ever called, you never sent flowers anymore. What happened to our relationship, Wade? We liked each other.
We did, Tony. We had a good time. We worked at 5AA back in late 1990s, I'm going to say.
I know.
I was very young back then. I was only in my early 20s, and I'm turning 50 next year, so things have changed a fair bit for me.
Get away. After running, a couple of networks?
Yeah, I was at the Nova Network for a long time, and now I mostly do a lot of radio consulting work. I think it would amaze your overnight audience to think that there are people who can make a living out of consulting radio, but yes, it can happen, and it's great to hear your voice on the airwaves. I love your jingle to start the show too.
That's very kind of you. So how do you think we're travelling? Based on what you've listened to so far, Wade, what would you give it a big tick, or do I have to go to a production meeting, an announcers meeting, or worse still, a program directors meeting?
Well, no, my memory of you, Tony, is you're quite creative, so I don't think you would love meetings very much. I'm not sure you're a meetings kind of guy. I think that the word meeting would probably put you off.
Well, we used to always gag about meetings. The story about meetings was losers go to meetings or winners go to lunch.
That's right. And if my memory serves, you're very good at lunching.
You're a very good boy. What else is happening in the world, Wade? In the world for you?
Well, I live down on the Mornington Peninsula in Victoria now. We did a little sea change down there before COVID. My wife, who I actually met at 5AA, her name is Suze, and she was writing commercials, and I was a talkback producer, as you know. We met, and we then travelled the country a bit together through radio, and now have a couple of teenagers and live down on the beautiful Mornington Peninsula in Victoria.
Oh, mate, how the school fees going?
Yes, that's why I'm still working, Tony.
School fees at the Bay.
I absolutely didn't mean to hijack your first segment, but I'm actually driving back from the airport in Melbourne to home, and I'm never normally up at this time, but I know you shot me an email and said, let's catch up. So I thought, well, what better way to catch up than on the radio?
The live broadcasting. Wade, it's a thrill to hear from you. I'm glad you touched base, and I promise you at some point we will break bread.
Well, let's go to lunch. How about that? No meeting.
I'm loving your work for that. Do you have a card these days, or is that a thing of the past?
Oh, like a business card? Is that what you meant?
No, a card to pay for lunch.
Well, you notice I artfully dodged that,
yes,
Tony. I
do
what you beautifully, but I went the other way. No, we could clearly. I think we could use the Australia Overnight's credit card. That works well.
Yeah, thank you very much. Good on you, Cobber. Nice to see you. Wade Kingsley, who a great radio person, and was pretty young, as he mentioned back in the days.
Got the voice for it, hasn't he?
Yeah, gifted and talented, and then went on and did amazing things as a senior exec for the Nova Network, and turned that into a bit of a juggernaut.
But I ask a question. What is what did he say? Consulting, radio consulting. What does that do? What do you do when you're a radio consultant?
Well, you know what a consultant does, as you well know, is they grab somebody else's watch and tell them what time it is.
Okay,
pretty much.
Beautifully done.
Are you familiar with Wade Kingsley's work?
I'm not sure. The name kind of rings a bell, no? But yeah, I'm not sure.
I thought you were looking for a role, maybe at Nova. If something came up, Jackson. I thought you were going to say something. Did you? Oh, no. Got to go. Got to fly. We'll do this break. I've got to stay to the time, Wade, don't I? 133693. It is Australia Overnight. We'll reconvene. Come back in just a tick. Come and join us for Australia Overnight. Good morning. One of the big conversations in the last week or so, you would have seen this, Rog, mums, dads, grandparents, and how you get the little tackers to go to sleep historically. Yep. So we thought we'd fling that open to the listeners. In the day, how did you get youngsters, particularly during daylight saving in this part of the world, how did you get little youngsters to go to sleep? It can be a real challenge for mum and dad. And I know it was for us at that stage. We had a property in Ballarat running a motel as well as doing other projects. And Jamie G just would not go to sleep. And so it became a real issue and puts an enormous amount of stress on a family because come 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock, and a little thing called Finnegan came into be a help. But you say that's not the way to go.
No, one of the things that we've got to understand about this, which is really important, is younger people have what we call a later chronotype. So they naturally go to sleep later and they naturally get up later. And there's a big campaign to actually change the hours of schools so that instead of people starting school early, they actually start school later and finish
I
later.
often wondered that. Why do we start at 8:30 or 9 o'clock?
Well, it's ridiculous because teenagers are in their sleep phase at that stage. And it's not because they go to bed late, it's because their chronotype, as in their normal type, has them going to sleep later. And we go through stages. So when we're young, really young, like up until we're about 10, we go to sleep earlier, we get up earlier. And then from 10 onwards, we then start to go to sleep later, and then we wake up later. And that's our prime schooling years. And yet we start school at 8:30, or we've got to be up at 7 to get to school at 8:30. This is where children really struggle because their brains are not even switched on by that stage. So we should be starting school at 10, 11 o'clock, and then going through until 6.
You're talking primary school? That's
all through, right through. Yep.
And so even
when I say
for...
later, when they're over 10, right, would be better.
For the teenage years, for later...
Certainly VCE kids. VCE kids shouldn't be at school at 8:30 in the morning. Their brains are not even turned on by that stage. It's outrageous.
And that's why they're... Writing that down. VCE kids' brains don't turn on until lunchtime.
Well, we got to understand this circadian rhythm and learning that we need to be in this proper cycle for us to be able to function properly. And this is what we talk about with children not sleeping. We're forcing them. The one thing that we have to not do, and it's imperative that we do not do, is medicate children to sleep. Or anybody, because you're not actually asleep.
No, very good. Artie, when you knock off, do you go straight to sleep?
Good morning, Tony, Roger and Jackson. Not right away. I've got a bit of insomnia, so adjusting the 40 years of shift work, as you know, it's not easy to sleep right away.
But you can change that, Arthur. You can literally... I know you say you've got insomnia, but the insomnia is actually created by the light exposure, and you can phase shift that with earlier light.
A quick pause from today's topic for something vital for every shift worker. That's right, that's you. Now, you know the relentless grind, constant fatigue, struggles with sleep, and that feeling your energy just isn't where it should be. And this is a common story in 24/7 roles, but it just doesn't have to be your workforces. At A Healthy Shift, I've combined 4 decades of frontline experience with cutting-edge science to create the seminar experience. Now, this isn't just a basic workshop. It's a comprehensive, game-changing program that is built to give entire workforces actionable strategies that they need to truly master their well-being on any schedule. And they're implemented immediately. Now, beyond the powerful core keynote, I offer specialised add-on workshops which dive deep into women and shift work, fatigue management, and how to work your own roster. Now, these tools empower your colleagues to thrive, improve performance, and boost their health, helping your organisation to retain valuable staff. Now, if you believe your workforce deserves better, speak up, because your managers won't know about this vital resource. Click the link in the show notes, download the e-brochure, and put it up the line. Invest in your team's most valuable asset, their health.
Well, seeing daylight savings, I'm not a fan of it, but I'm adjusting better now. I'm adjusting so I can go to sleep a bit earlier because I've seen a bit of daylight, and I'm kind of, forcing myself naturally to do that. Just a question, though, that Tony brought up, the clock card. I used it when I was doing in security just a few years ago.
The log on, log off. Yeah.
Punch card.
Yeah, and there's probably still got them there. Did you use them in the police stations as well, the time clock?
Never.
No, never used the time clock in... Well, I started in 1984, and no, there was no time card then.
Well, how'd they know when you lobbed in and lobbed out?
I'm pretty sure the sergeant would have known that you were there. Yeah. So you did a time sheet. You you manually wrote a timesheet. And here's a funny one for people. If you worked the div van, you ticked the div van box and you got an extra $1.10 for it.
$1.10.
$1.10 for working the div van. When I started,
So just explain that, the div van being the divisional van.
If you were out on the truck, out on the divisional van,
yeah.
You would put down working 0700, and you wouldn't put the finish time because you could get overtime, but you would tick the box that you were going out working on the van. And if you were out going on the van, you get an extra $1.10 as an allowance for working on the van. Back in the 80s. Yep. $1.10.
$1.10 for the day or $1.10 for the hour?
No, for the shift. An extra $1.10 for the shift. And if you got overtime and it was a 12-hour shift, it was still $1.10, but it was an allowance. And they removed that allowance, so they don't get a div van allowance now at all. No.
And so what about a lunch break?
No lunch break. It's called meal at post. So you eat whenever you can, which is a problem.
Yeah.
Because you may not get to eat.
Which is, you say that like that's
common.
It's common.
It's very common. Very common. For particularly today, Tony, because the van crews, the divisional van crews, are running from one job to the next, or they're tied up away from their stations, like with mental health patients at hospitals, or they could be tied up with offenders and executing warrants and then going from one to the next. You know, no one logs off to go and sit down and it's dinner time and have something to eat. You try, but no, it doesn't happen there.
Somewhere in Perth, a little street just off the freeway in Perth near what they call Polly's Pipe, Polly Farmers Tunnel. Mm-hmm. And there's a whole lot of coppers that go in there on a regular basis. And sometimes there could be 8, 10, 15 or more. The cars all parked out there, all bikes out there, particularly on a late afternoon, a Saturday or Sunday, all having a coffee. And people might think, oh, what's going on here? But it's probably the only break they get for the day.
Correct.
And they all just happen to turn up around that same time.
Yeah, and they turn up there and they use it as that forced get-together, because otherwise they don't get a chance to even communicate because it's so busy.
Helen, you wanted a question about MyGov we mentioned earlier with Dennis Walter on the program here on 3AW in Melbourne.
Hello, Tony. Yes, only in that I've heard reference to it before and I don't know what it is.
You should download the app. I'm surprised you haven't got one, Helen. Have a look at the MyGov app. They know your every movement.
And I don't know what an app is and I don't have a phone.
Oh, well, that's going to be a little tricky for you then. What about, do you have a computer?
Yeah.
So you...
what is MyGov?
What you
Who is it for?
Well, it's for every Australian.
Pensioner, Medicare, your health insurance, everything's all on MyGov. MyGov is basically the home of your ID.
Yeah, so they know what you eat,
medical,
what time you go to bed.
Well, when they were set up, wouldn't they have contacted all Australians and introduced themselves?
That was an issue. They did not.
No, they didn't.
No, they didn't. They just set it up and housed everything there because everyone went over to that. Helen, it is an issue, but everyone has to use it. You have to use it for business to go through MyGov. You do it for your own tax through it. Your group certificate is now parked on MyGov as well.
Yeah,
your group certificate from work. Superannuation is in everything. It's all linked through MyGov.
And you can do that online. So if you type in MyGov, and if you're not registered, register, and you'll be surprised some of the benefits of checking out on a semi-regular basis, Helen.
All right.
It's short for My Government.
Yeah, My Government.
Lovely government.
Yeah,
My Government.
A lovely government. MyGov. It's called MyGov.
Thanks, Tony.
Good on you, Helen. Keep in touch. Let us know what you think of it, because people may have a different opinion of it.
Well, the bomb copped it, didn't it, this week?
What was that about?
It's copped it on radio all week.
It has. Well, I'm surprised. Excuse me. I'm not surprised. I'm really interested, I think. How many people go to MyGov, go to BOM to have a look at the weather?
Right, and who sat there when they sat around the table and went, oh, this is it, this is fantastic?
Oh, for the website?
Yeah, for the website. Who did that?
Didn't work out well. Chris Brody, morning.
Hello, Tony Mack and Roger. Look, things are quietening down at this end of Broadmeadows after the events both Friday and Saturday night, only 250 metres away, or as they say in golf terms, a two-wood at the Rugby League Stadium, the Pacific Islander, having all the grand finals all night Friday, Saturday. That shooting, and then the night before the machete attack through a crowd of 4,000 people. And so I have got correspondence and replies from Government House from the Governor of Victoria and the Department of Premier and Cabinet.
I saw that. You said that through, and under the legislation, under the rules and regs, it's not really anything they can help with.
Yes, it is. It is. Everything's on the table now, whether I suggest cutting out all nightlife for a month or two to give much-needed rest and recreation to the law enforcement, coincide with some restrictions, some curfews, even if this is not in play, or even martial law, bringing the military alongside the police, just to quieten things down so the police could do their usual rounds, do their shifts, and go home for much-needed rest and recreation.
Rest and recreation, was that very important? Was that given priority, Roger Sutherland?
No, I think at the moment, we've had this discussion before, Tony. I don't agree with the military being involved at all, right? I think the government has to resource and support and have the police doing that job. I just don't like the look of the military out there doing the job that the police should be doing. There'll be blurred lines everywhere there with that, and I don't think that's a good idea in any way whatsoever. I can understand why people would think it, because they think, everyone would be scared of the military, but the military are going to have their hands tied so much with what they can and can't do. The job is the job of the police. They're the ones that are trained to do the job. They're the ones that need to be properly resourced, and they need to have them out there and visible, because this is one of the biggest problems today. I drove in tonight and was shocked when I actually saw a police car when I was on my way in. I was driving along and all of a sudden I realised I was following a police car. You don't see that. You just don't see police cars around. You don't see them.
Not as many.
You don't see them parked on the side of the road these days with a radar gun, or set up with the tapes across the road.
Because why?
There isn't any.
We should point out we're talking about Central in Victoria. But
it's the same.
Assuming the state is right across the country.
I would imagine it would be much the same everywhere, because I know West Australia are on their knees as well. Their union is campaigning very hard at the moment.
They're looking for people. Yeah,
they are. And South Australia is in the same situation as well. I communicate with all of these agencies up and down the eastern seaboard as well as across the country. And it is a real problem with staffing issues and how short they are and how busy they are tied up doing paperwork for jobs. Now, Mike Bush, the new chief, is horrified at the amount of paperwork and the repetitive nature of what the police here in Victoria are actually doing. Having come from an international agency coming in, he's looked at it and gone, this is so backward, it's outrageous.
Crazy.
And he's trying to fix it. And, credit where credit's due. He's getting rid of the people upstairs, he's looking internal
management
before he looks outside. I think that's a real credit to him as well.
So, but all that paperwork's still got to be done. It's not as if that's not going to be done. The people who are best to do that have been, up until recently, or more recently, have been serving officers. Well, do you bring lay people in? Where do you get those people? Are they sufficiently skilled to do that job that is so important certainly for prosecution?
I don't have inside intel. I have certainly been told that there will be a lot of jobs that will go to what we call unsworn, which are like people who work in the police department who are not sworn officers going out doing the job. They're the people that are in support staff. Prosecutions is one of the areas that could very easily end up as unsworn. There's quite a number of areas. I wouldn't want to be in an office down the road here at the VPC, the Victoria Police Centre, in one of your hidey hole offices around the corner, because I wouldn't mind betting Mike Bush will come knocking on your door one day and saying your job doesn't exist anymore, or you're being replaced by someone who's unsworn and you can go back out on the road. And they won't go. They won't go back out on the road. They'll leave, and apparently his attitude is very much along the line of see you later.
That's Commissioner of Police here in Victoria. Yes. No idea what you're talking about. Between Morwell to Relga and multiple cars side of the road, and the cameras are always down that way.
But the cameras are not the police. That's very important. People understand that. The cameras are not the police at all.
133 693, come and join us. Tony Mack, it is Australia Overnight. Good morning to you. Awkward. For those that watch streaming for Australia Overnight, we understand that for whatever reason, it's like last week we had some issues with the text line. We're going along beautifully, but we understand that it doesn't seem to be streaming at the moment. But we've got a team of people, although having said that, I'm waving, so there is something there. I'm waving again. 133 693 is our telephone number if you'd like to be part of the program. Come and join us. Where are we going? Leanne, say hello to Roger. Good morning.
Good morning, Roger. Jackson. Jackson and Tony.
We're all here.
Two things. MyGov is basically your Centrelink, your Medicare,
all of that,
the ATO, NDIS, and you can look up government services. This for Helen. If you can't find anything, they've got sections in each department that you can look up what you need, like payments and da-da-da-da-da. It's actually quite a good app because I use it all the time.
Yeah, well, many of us use it. Yeah, it's great. It's fantastic.
Yes. Secondly, Roger, I'm averaging 4 hours sleep a night, and I have a problem getting to the bedroom to go to sleep.
Getting to the bedroom?
Helping. Yeah. Like I said it's like a fear of going to sleep, going to bed.
Oh.
Well, I was just going to say, what is the resistance that you actually have to that, Liam? There's obviously a reason why you don't want to go into the room.
I have no idea what it is. But I did a lot of night work too, but I sit up listening to you guys. But sometimes I fall asleep. Sometimes, but
During which particular segment would send you to sleep?
No, not you. Sometimes I might not listen, and I'll be colouring in, and I'll fall asleep.
Yeah.
What about?
Yes, I'm on my phone, Roger.
Leanne,
it's got the screen on it.
Okay, now one of the biggest problems that you've got, Leanne, is you're not ready for sleep. You're not ready for sleep, which is the reason why you're not actually going into the room and going to bed because you're not ready. And that comes from that blue light exposure that you're actually getting from looking at the TV, looking at the screens with the lights on overhead. But dim all your lights from early, right? Start dimming your lights. Only have like a little lamp on with a little
I do.
Yep.
A
little
I've only
lamp.
I have the kitchen light coming into the back room with no light on.
Okay. And what about, because you listen to the show, what about if you go and lie in bed and listen to the show on the radio while you're lying in bed in the darkness?
Actually, funny you say that. I could do that because I've got a Google Nest in there.
Yeah, perfect.
Just ask Google. Just say to Google to stream 3AW because it does that. I do that all the time. And ask it to put a timer on it for 1 hour and turn it off and just lie in bed and listen to it on very low volume in the dark. And I'll tell you what I want you to do, Liam. I want you to breathe in, put your hand on your stomach, breathe in through your nose for a count of 4, and into your hand, breathe down into your hand, and then I want you to breathe out through your nose for a count of 8. And keep doing that while you're listening to the radio in the darkness. You won't last 5 or 6 cycles.
You promise. So the entire Australian audience now could be doing that, and then we have no callers.
No, only Leanne was listening.
All right. Thank you, Leanne. Let us know how that goes. 133 693 is our telephone number. For those sending text, 0477 693 693. And for our wonderful listeners in WA, 1338 882. And the email, there's a lot of stuff really, email overnights, plural, at 3aw.com.au. We were talking about lighting. How important is lighting? Because you've just changed your entire home lighting.
Yeah, what I've done is today I've had all those low voltage LEDs removed from the roof of my house, and I've swapped them over for what we call a bio light.
In the ceiling, eh?
In the ceiling.
Yeah.
It looks identical, and when you turn the light on, it looks like a normal white light, and it's during the day, and it's got the correct amount of blue in it. We, as Australians...
Why would you need the light on during the day?
Well, if you do, I can tell you why, because research is showing us very clearly now that we're spending more time indoors than we are outdoors, and we need daylight. We don't need... And a lot of people are indoors. Now, being indoors and having the curtains open and the blinds is not enough. We absolutely have to be outside. Now, let me just explain. When you've got the lights on inside your house, it's approximately 500 lux of light. 500 lux. Now, we need much more than that to actually stimulate that circadian rhythm and get us awake. And what a lot of people do, and this is where we had a lot of trouble through COVID, people came out of their bedrooms, sat in the kitchen, working in the kitchen, went back into their bedrooms. They were never getting any daylight, right? And that daylight is at 10,000 lux. Even on an overcast day, that 10,000 lux of light is actually what is resetting our circadian rhythm and telling our diurnal system, this is where we're at in time and space. So now we know. So it suppresses the sleep hormones and it fires up the cortisol and gets us up and about and ready to go during the day. And this is a lot of problem a lot of the reason why older people have trouble sleeping at night because they don't get the daylight during the day at all. They're sitting inside. So the lights that I've just changed at home provide a full spectrum blue light during the day, which is equivalent to daylight outside, so it's bright. And then at night, you turn the light off and back on again, and it's got zero blue in it. It's still light. It's got zero blue light in it. And
So how does it work? So you turn it on?
You turn the light on, and it comes on normal light.
Normal light.
And then when it gets to the evening, once the sun goes down, once the sun goes down, you turn it off and turn it back on again, and it comes on with zero blue light in it. They're very, very good lights.
Well,
they're expensive, but they're very good.
When you say expensive,
but what price do you put on your health? You see, this is the price.
What?
$75 each.
Each?
Yep, $75 each
for a globe.
But they're a bio light. They are a health light.
For how long do they last?
Who knows? No idea. But an LED light in your roof. When was the last time you changed an LED light in your roof?
Ever?
Never. Right? So that's what I'm saying.
I don't know.
And the LED lights.
I have people.
What people don't understand is when we had incandescent light, we had a good light. We had a healthy light. It had infrared. It had the blue. It had all the different spectrum of light in it. But now we have gone these low voltage LED lights that have got zero infrared, not enough blue in them during the day, which is less than 20%. They've got greater than 2% blue light in them at night. And what it's doing is our circadian rhythm is confused. And this is why we are fat, we are sick, we are suffering from poor immunity, we have cardiovascular disease, we don't sleep at night, we are snacking, we get cravings, and we're suffering from more cancers than ever because of the exposure to artificial light at night.
And you've got to imagine, I'm not an expert, but you've got to imagine that somehow it's all linked in. It can't not possibly be.
Well, I can tell you categorically in hospitals, research shows that if you are on the side of the hospital where the sun rises, you will be out of hospital quicker than when you're on the side that the sun sets.
G'day, Tony Mac and Roger. Listening to Roger. A great radio. Wish you would come on more. Kids these days have trouble getting off to sleep. They're in bed by 8:30. Takes hours and then to fall asleep. Any recommendation, says Nursing.
Yeah, well, once again, it's light exposure. They're not ready to sleep. They need to have that zero blue. And when they're in bed for those hours to fall asleep, what are they doing? And the question I would ask every single person listening to this show right now, if you hold your arm outstretched and your hand, and you can see your hand in your room while you're sleeping, in your room to sleep.
It's too light?
It's too light. Full stop. If you can see your hand at your outstretched arm.
Even during the day?
Yeah, well, while you're sleeping during the day or night. Anytime you're trying to sleep, if you can see your hand outstretched, it's too light. How do we solve that? A sleep mask. Or roller shutters. We've got to get rid of all light. Any light is triggered. We have clocks in all external cells in our body.
Text here says, Tony Mac, I do the opposite to the great Leanne. I do everything in my bedroom. Don't watch the telly. Well, no, I don't watch the telly, I've got to say.
No.
But I am in the bedroom night after an early dinner. I rest, I chill, I drink myself into a... No, I just made that bit up. I drink coffee in the bedroom.
It can't rest in the rest of the house.
Can't rest in the rest of the house.
So what's happened is this person has associated their bedroom with rest, which is a good thing. It's a relaxing, calm place. They
Gerald
feel
Quigley
safe
used to say that as well. That it's about the, even what your bed looks like.
Oh, totally.
Even
the environment.
The environment of that room.
Totally. It's part of your sleep hygiene. Stand at the door to your bedroom and look at your bed. Is that somewhere where, not at 6 o'clock in the morning when you get home, Tone, right?
Yep.
But is that somewhere where you want to go and rest and sleep? And your bed is for only three things that start with S. One, sleep. The other one's sickness.
Yeah, there you go. Okay.
And the third one.
133693. G'day, Tony McRoger. Love the program. I totally agree with him. He told the lady before, lie down, listen to the show. It's the best way to fall asleep. Sleep.
You're getting sleepy.
You're getting very, very sleepy. Do you make the bed every morning?
As soon as I get out.
Every morning?
As soon as I get out, make it straight away.
Do you have lots of Manchester on the bed?
Melissa has hundreds of pillows on
Cushions and pillows.
Why do they do that?
What is that about?
I don't know.
Huh?
I don't know. What is it about?
No idea as well.
And we keep, every time I go and have a look at it, there's another one. And I think, why?
Where did that come from?
Why? And why is it there?
And how often do we flick the sheet?
Flick
Change them.
Oh, Oh, every Sunday. Sunday's wash the sheet day.
Sunday washing.
We have Towel Tuesday, and we wash the sheet. We wash the sheets on every Sunday.
Oh, towels on a Tuesday.
It's Towel Tuesday.
Sheets on a Sunday.
And sheets on a Sunday, yep.
Routine.
Every week. It's routine.
Routine will set you free.
Yes.
It is Australia Overnight, wherever you are. Nice to have your company. For those that are waiting, we'll get to some calls in just a tick. Thank you. The idea of, we see them on the news, they're heavily used on the news services given the current set of circumstances right across Australia, where you see these bogans, or I like to call them dicks, who turn up at your front door, much of which is captured by the doorbells, the rings.
And they're common, aren't
they? Seem to be. Somebody's doing really well after having a pretty quiet time with them, and they've become, obviously, on a lot of properties, which is sad that we need them. That's just by way of comment, I guess. Here's the thing. In terms of investigation, are they helpful?
Yes, they're very helpful. I just showed you the video of when we had the egg bug at our place.
You copped it.
And out of that vision, they were able to identify certain clothing traits, and from that, they were able to identify one of the offenders. Just fantastic detective work. He was holding a 7-Eleven cup, and they went to the 7-Eleven and saw the vision and matched the clothing with that. It was just fantastic work. Right?
So when we got hit, they were able to look at the particular person who was the offender, and they could tell by the walk. In other words, they knew
who the offender was
because
of the walk.
Because of the way this person walked.
Yeah, they do. They know that. And that comes down to good... And see, we underestimate what the detectives know. Everyone's very critical of VicPol in relation to these Agbergs and why aren't they doing more. But they're looking at these going, they know...
Who's critical? You say everybody.
The public.
Not everybody.
On social media, they do cop it a lot.
Yeah,
right?
Don't pay any attention to social media, man.
But they're... I think the public are now realising that a lot of it is that the police are doing their job. They're being let down by the courts or the government. I think people are on board with this now. Bail's become a big topic of discussion.
Let down by government.
Yep. But going back to the cameras, that occurred at our place at 3:30 in the morning, right? And we woke up and we had ring alerts on my mobile phone because I put my phone on Do Not Disturb, as you probably do as well. Otherwise, the alerts drive you absolutely crazy, right? And you should, because sleep's got to be far more important. And I woke up and I looked at my phone and there was ring alerts, and I looked at the cameras and I saw the vision that I've just shown you, and I freaked out. Like, your heart just stops because you think someone's at your door. I jumped out of bed and ran to the front door, and our security door was open, but the other door was... the solid wood door was still closed. They tried it and didn't get in. Now, had we not have had that ring camera, I wouldn't have even known that occurred. I probably would have come home and thought, we left the security door open, and left it at that. I honestly believe people put these cameras on because they want to see things. Cameras don't save you. The Lord Mayor's come out and said we're putting more cameras in Melbourne. We're going to put more cameras in the CBD. We've got cameras monitoring Rundle Mall. We've got cameras monitoring everywhere. Cameras don't save you.
Ross Stevenson on 3AW Breakfast makes the point you can't have enough cameras.
I don't disagree. You can have cameras everywhere, but cameras don't save you. They don't provide that safety. The girl that was stabbed was on camera. It didn't save her, right? They don't save people. They do provide a level of safety for people that don't want to get caught, but they're wearing these masks now. You know, they're wearing masks and hoodies, and they don't care because there's no consequence for the action. Now, my argument would be for people that are contemplating buying a Ring doorbell camera or putting Ring cameras round outside, and Ring won't like this or Amazon won't like it, but the bottom line is, do you want to know? Lock your house up, but do you really want to know that someone's been there and you've actually seen what's occurred? Because I can tell you, if Melissa, my partner, hadn't seen it, she wouldn't have been as terrified as she was for the next 2 years.
Yeah, it's a good point.
For the next 2 years, because had she not have seen it, she wouldn't have known. But to see African males on your doorstep, they're dressed the way they are, and we know that that's what it was because we can clearly see it, knowing that, she was terrified. And I was still working 24/7 then. I was still doing night shift. She was terrified, sleeping with lights on. Every noise was terrifying her. And she's brave, but she was... I just asked people, do you want to know? Is it worth knowing? Because it's not going to save you.
It is a good question, and I don't have an answer to that because and everybody might have a different view about that.
Of course they do. Yeah, it's great. It's a great investigative tool because if someone's been there and they've got into your car, got into your house. The other thing that I did want to say, and I'll discuss this with you on air, and just quickly, anyone that's got a key that is a push button to unlock your car. Buy yourself a Faraday box or a Faraday wallet. Now, Faraday wallet, it's just like a little wallet that you put in your drawer or in your kitchen or whatever, and you put your keys into that, and it stops the electromagnetic field, so that it stops the offenders from using repeaters. Because what they can do is stand at your front door and use a repeater from where your keys are in the house to your car. They use these repeaters, but with the Faraday box, they can't use it.
And it seems that it's the high end, and I don't know whether I'm reading this, but your Porsche,
BMW, Audi.
Benz, Audi, and so on, the Volkswagen Group.
Yep.
They seem to be the ones that presumably are targeted because they know that they can get reasonably easy access to those.
Correct. Yep.
We've got to do this. When we come back, your calls. Roger Sutherland is here. I'm Tony Mack, Australia Overnight. Thank you, Roger. The hour goes too quickly. People can contact you at _healthy_shift. I beg your pardon.
That's an Instagram, but everything's on the website, ahealthyshift.com. And don't forget the podcast, A Healthy Shift. It's on all the platforms.
There you go. Nice one to see.
Thanks for having me.
See you in a couple of weeks' time, mate. Roger Sutherland, a regular contributor, Australia Overnight.